fears that come up that you can consider if you're about to, say, write a novel or create a movie or do an installation? I heard something.
Not making enough money to live.
Okay, so a fear about money. Great. Okay, that's really real. Pardon?
Fear of success.
Absolutely, fear of success. Yes. And not good enough being what? Fear of failure? Yes? Yes.
Performance anxiety.
Okay. So maybe failure of exposing yourself to other people. Could that sum it up?
Well, yeah, like a musician or somebody like an actress.
Okay. That would suck if you were an actress.
Stage fright.
Okay. Right. Okay, they would really need to come to this talk because we're going to get into this. Okay. Being exposed or performance anxiety. Any other thoughts that come up? What stops artists in terms of fear? Yes?
I guess fear of expectations that go along with success. How
Yeah.
people
Yeah, that totally, and expectations is what this lady said, and also responsibility. You know, what if you get really successful and people have to look up to you? Like, what about, you don't know where people read your book and you're changing the world, like the responsibility that might come with your creative endeavor. Absolutely. Anything else?
Ridicule.
Absolutely, huge. Ridicule. It takes a lot of, yeah, we'll get into how to get around it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have to be town, you bob your head.
Okay, how would you, all right, so just, how would you summarize that? Maybe like a fear of wasting resources, in a sense, because it's not going to work out.
If you try,
Yeah.
and your expectations that you have talent, you try to find out that you really don't have any talent for that particular media.
So maybe a fear that you have a lack of talent.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. So we covered most of the ones that I was thinking of. Fear of failure, fear of other people's judgments, like what will other people say or think. There's also something that we didn't hit on, and that is a fear of alienation. We often associate with groups of people or with our family, and when we decide to make a change in our life, or we change ourselves, or we pursue something different, there's sometimes a fear that we're not going to belong, or that our friends or our family might say, what do you think you're doing? And that's not what we do in this family. So a sort of fear of not being part of the tribe, of belonging, of leaving that. So there's so many fears that come up with wanting to pursue our creative passion. Like, no wonder artists get stuck. You know, can you blame them? So sort of like a fear of not belonging is what I was getting at. We talked about fear of responsibility, fear of exposure, fear of change. You know, if you write a book now and it becomes a bestseller, your life's going to change. Fear of wasting resources, money and time, which is sort of like if you didn't have talent, maybe you're wasting money and time. Right? So let's say you buy a whole set of paints and your paintings don't turn out. What a waste, right? That's what we normally think. But I want you to remember that, because we're going to go back to that at the end. Okay, about how it's actually not a waste. Okay. Okay, the last one that's pretty big, and when we did the creativity coaching, we really talked about this with the baby boomer generation. And by that I mean people over their 50s. And that is that there is this, that often people in that generation have been raised with a lot of conveniences, and things are easy and they come fast and quickly. And creativity is not like that. It takes work and discipline and dedication, and you've got to keep doing it, and you may be frustrated and you may go through failure. And so you have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to do things that aren't your usual patterns to get into this pattern of, okay, I'm going to paint a wall in East Vancouver, or I'm going to go and write a book. You have to you've got to change yourself, and it's uncomfortable. So that's the last one that I really want to touch on in terms of fears. Any other thoughts on fears? It's hard for me not to involve you guys on fears. Looks like you guys are getting, yeah.
It's kind of, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Kind of inner voice. That you have the
Yeah.
fear, like,
Did everyone hear what this lady said? She said this fear of like, who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are to write that book or make that painting or stand up here and talk to other creative people? I mean, that's huge. It's taken me this long to get up here and have the courage to speak and share my passion. But absolutely, that rings really true for me. Like, who do I think I am? So absolutely, you have to really come to grips with a lot of negative self-chatter and become strong in yourself that you are the person, you were given this talent. If you have this calling to do whatever it is, to paint or to write or whatever it is you want to do, that there's some trust that goes with that. But we're going to get more into that. Let's talk about another area that stops artists. All right, so procrastination. This is our number 2. So for everyone that is English as a second language, they understand now what I mean?
Fine.
You're telling yourself that, right? You're telling yourself, I'm not ready. Right. Avoidance of uncomfortable feelings. Creativity doesn't always yield immediate results. Like, here's an example. I tell because my modality is painting. And so when you go into your studio and you're working on a painting, there's no one there going, yeah, go Deb. Good brush stroke. Excellent use of the palette knife. That fantastic color choice today. Like, there's no one there going, way to go. Like, you're there and you're doing the work and you're writing or you're painting or whatever, but the bottom line is there isn't an immediate feedback. Like, you just have to go and do it and keep working on it, and then maybe 12 months from now you have a show and someone actually gives you some money for this hard work. Who knows? But so it's a reason to procrastinate because you're not initially going into this thing that might give you good feelings right away. Does that make sense? Right. And the fears. So we're scared of the fears. So it really does go back to that first list we wrote. Okay, and now it's going to get a little personal, might get a little uncomfortable, see people squishing around on their seats. How do you guys procrastinate? Come on. Yes.
Iron, even though I hate it.
Okay, so she irons. Isn't this great? It's funny stuff you get done when you're supposed to be doing something else. Okay, so this lady does some ironing.
Vacuum.
TV, that's a big one. And okay, this is a total aside. It's not in the notes. But I heard somewhere, don't like write this down or quote me on it, okay? Because I don't know if it's true. But I heard that TV is super addictive, and it's the same brain wave like with your head as depression. So that it just addicts you. Anyway, so, but it doesn't really support creativity if you're always watching TV. Okay, back to the written down talk. I didn't want to say that. Okay, what else? Yeah.
Researching forever.
Yeah. Do you guys know anyone that just talks about what they're gonna do? Oh my God, do you know them personally maybe? They're like, they're looking into it and they're getting ready, and then they're like, they gotta go and buy this thing and they need the right jacket. Okay? So, the talker. Okay. This is just between you, me, and you guys, me, and the wall. My ex-husband was a total talker. Drove me crazy. I was like, can you just do something? Okay. Anyone else that does certain things to procrastinate?
Facebook.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just putting the big FB. Okay, yeah, Facebook, baby. That'll just suck you away, eh? Whole day. Links, and he said, she said, and I like this, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes?
Telling yourself you have a lot of responsibilities that take precedent over that.
Cool, so you kind of lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we all do it, right? Yeah, yeah. I gotta work. I gotta feed my kids. I don't have time to, like, work on a little painting. Yeah.
See, that thing is overwhelmed by too much on your plate.
Okay, so overwhelm we're getting to, that's our third thing. So we're still sticking with procrastination. But you could tell yourself you're overwhelmed, absolutely.
That's a lot.
Okay, so too much going on. Anything else that you guys tend to do, or how procrastination shows up in your life? And you know what, this is important that we're having this. because I want to say that you guys are already ahead of the curve and you're already on the road to being an illuminated artist, someone that's self-aware and creating the life you want. And that is that you're taking time to get educated and you're getting aware of your habits. Because the minute, they always say when you want to make a change, get aware. So as soon as you get aware of what's stopping you, even though it's funny, if you know Facebook is stopping you, then maybe give your computer to your friend for an hour every day and go and write or whatever. You know what I mean? Know what's stopping you and then you can move forward. So this is actually really important. There was someone else was saying some other procrastination habit. What about video games? Are you guys video gamers? No? Okay, yes, gentleman in the back.
Blaming.
Blaming, yeah, blaming either it's your wife's fault, it's your kids. Okay, that's good, yeah. Yeah, it's always someone else's fault, yeah.
Oh, I would schedule things and then reschedule them and reschedule them and it just never happened.
Okay, so it's like the
Not making time.
the daytimer dilemma.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and I think also, I don't know about you guys, but endlessly checking your email kind of goes into Facebook. Okay, good. So we all know that we do it. So these are things that we do to avoid getting into that creative process that we're longing. We're longing to make this creative dream a reality. We're longing to do something that we really want to do, and yet these things come up. Alrighty. Okay, if only it was this easy. I'm a big procrastinator, by the way. I actually kind of use it to motivate myself. I finished writing this speech about 10 minutes before my friend David showed up. And a few of my friends over, because I live in a work-live community. One of my friends is here from the building. We're all artists. There's 80 of us in the building. And they were inviting me for dinner, and I was like, no, I have to go do a talk. And they were like, okay. And so it's funny when you really start diving into this creative process and looking at thriving artists and what they do, and they actually use a lot of different things, doing multiple projects, and actually using procrastination as a leverage to getting things done. It's like this. It's not like science where it's like X plus Y blah blah blah. It's very fluid. So that was an aside too. I wasn't part of the speech. Okay, good. I'm so glad you guys are laughing. Thank you, even if you're faking it. I really appreciate it. Seriously. Okay, Overwhelm. So my mentors, Dr. Robert Maurer and Jill, said that this was like the #1 thing that stopped artists in our today's society, which really makes sense because we're living in the information overload era. And there's a couple seats in the front here. Actually, there's 4. And I don't think I spit. And I'm wearing deodorant and perfume. Okay, so come on up so you guys can sit. Thanks for coming. Okay, so we're talking about the third thing that stops artists from making their dreams come true, and that's overwhelm. So everyone's clear on what overwhelm is to start? I want a shake of your head if you're like, oh good, okay, so there's one lady that's not sure about what's being overwhelmed. Well, a sense of overwhelm is you feel like there's so much to do for me to okay, I'll give you an example. Have you ever met someone and they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. It's my New Year's resolution, okay? And they're like, but I've got to get this outfit. I've got to get I got to go to Lululemon. Is that where everyone goes? Yeah, it's Vancouver, right? And Lululemon wasn't as big as California. I was living there before, because it's anyway. So, you've got to get the right outfit. And then it's like, and then I need a lock for the gym locker. And, there's a certain hairspray that works the best for when you're working out. And on it goes, and they have a sort of mental list of everything that it's going to take for them to get to the gym. Do they get to the gym, yes or no? No. Okay, but they're kind of overwhelmed because there's so many things they have to do to get to the gym. Okay, so we do that with our creativity. We get overwhelmed. This friend of mine, he also lives in the Arc, and he's like, wow, it's so cool, Deb. You teach workshops and you're selling your paintings. And I said, well, it's not that hard. Let me mentor you and we'll get you doing a demonstration. And he says, oh, no. I need about 4 or 5 months. I've got to do some research and I need to get some books out. And you know what I mean? And so, he's still doing his research and thinking about it, but he's never getting there. I'm sure you can all relate. I'm seeing lots of nods. You guys are very responsive. Thank you.